everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Tara with Mayhem Crafty Cards, and today I'm going to make a slimline card. And I made one of these before and posted on Instagram, and it really got some positive feedback, so I thought I'd make a video on how I did it today. And it's so super easy. So what I did was I took the Happy Hour stamp set from Trinity, and I used the martini glass and the 2 olives. And then I'll be using the Quarantini and then Happy Hour. So I cut out my slimline bases using Raven Black cardstock from Brutus Monroe, and then just some white Nina 80-pound Solar Crest. So what I did was I went ahead and colored my martinis off camera because I just started using alcohol markers, which I don't really do. So this is my first kind of blend with my alcohol markers. And thanks to Maria, I'm able to do this. So I will link her channel down below. She sent me a whole pack of alcohol markers. So I went ahead and colored them and cut them out using my Scan and Cut. And the same with the olives. So what I did for the background for the card, I'm going to move these out of the way here, along with my tape. I took the white squares, and I keep all my squares. Like, there's so many things that you could do with these little squares, so don't throw them out. But all this is from Trinity. So what I did was I took the new stencil set, and it's a 6x9 stencil set, and took the, I would say not the smallest, but not the largest. And I just laid it down. Let me show you the other stencils that came in this pack. So you get 4, which is fantastic. Because usually you only get, 1 stencil. So you get like the super small little circles. And then some that are a little bit bigger. And then you get some really big ones. So these are great to use, especially on the slim lines. And they also fit the A2 size. So what I did for this was I took some washi tape because I'm waiting on an order from Scrapbook Pal for purple tape and a couple other little things that I needed. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to the back. And not that I'm worried my stencil will move, but I don't want to take the chance of it moving. So I took, and if you can see, there's some really tiny little circles. So I'm going to lay that right in the center, well, as center as I could. And then I'm going to take the Ink on 3, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, but this is Bee Sting Yellow. And I really, really, really like these. You can do so many things. So I'm going to take the Bee Sting Yellow and I'm going to put that along the top and in the middle. And we're going to blend that in with Goddess Green from Ink on 3. These blend so nicely. And I'm also going to take my Pink and Main blending brush. I love this brush. I would have a million of them if I could. But you'll see how nice they blend. And it doesn't look like you have any color on there until you really start getting it on the paper. So I was pretty pumped to see Trinity actually posted my card on their Instagram story. I have never had that happen before. So it's pretty exciting. So as I'm blending this, I'm trying to, I always try to not necessarily line up, but kind of have an idea of where I'm going to place my martini glasses. Excuse me. Okay, so there's the yellow, and I do see a couple little spots that I want to make a little bit darker. So what I do, instead of taking it off and washing it off, I'm going to flip it. And I'm not even going to clean my blender brush off. I mean, you can because they clean off so easily. But I'm going to go ahead and take the Goddess Green. And I'm just going to go right in. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on the top side of it. And I just thought green and yellow would go really nice together, especially on the black. I didn't really want to leave anything like stark white. And then I will go back through and try to, you know, not that I really need to, but I just try to blend them in a little bit more. So I am excited that my channel is growing. And I don't care if I ever make money on YouTube. I just like to share and connect with everybody. Especially right now. Like everybody is, you know, there's people that are getting depressed and, you know, you can't really do a whole lot. You're stuck in the house. So there we go. I mean, it blended super nicely. Oh, but I got a spot, which is fine. It's not a big deal. Because these are water reactive. Yeah, we'll add a little embellishment to that later. But that's a nice thing. You can always put on some little embellishments. So now what I do with this cardstock in the black is I do try to line them up a little bit. And I usually, what I'm going to do is use some of the Gina K why can't I think of the word? I could just pull it out. Her tape runner, because it's repositionable. And what I like to do is I like to position it on my black cardstock before I bring my martini glasses in, because I'm going to end up cutting the stems off of my martini glasses. So I'm just going to go ahead and, you know what, sorry guys, I'm kind of all over the place today. It's actually nice outside for once in Ohio, which is a rarity. But it's nice because it puts you in a much better mood. You want to do things outside. And it's nice to be able to get out of the house. Like for me, because I have an autoimmune disorder. I have MS. And I recently had a infusion in March. So my immune system is not up to where I want it to be right now. So I've just been spending a lot of time making cards and trying to do this and that, which is fine. I mean, who doesn't love to sit and craft all day? I mean, there are times where, yes, it does get boring, but... So I'm just going to take this tape runner and just run it along the tops and the bottom, because I don't want to get too much adhesive on my card yet. And what I'm going to do is just line this up, and I should just be doing this on my mat here. I just try to get as close as I can, because like I said, I am going to just try to get my martinis glasses placed to where I want them to be right now. And you'll probably hear my husband hammering. He is redoing the roof on our shed. So let me grab these martini glasses. And I did cut out 4 just because I was practicing my color blending. So I think what I'm going to do is use the pink, purple, and green. I'm going to place those inside my windows. And I think we're going to do this. Just so the two dark sides aren't together. And I try to give them as, you know, much space as I can. But, you know, it's not perfect. It's not meant to be perfect. It certainly won't be perfect on my end. And then I will take my little olives and I will try to place these on either side. And these two that are the ones that are not stuck on the little stick, I will take those and pop them into one of my glasses. Now you can add 1 or 2. I think for this one I'm just going to add 1. And that leaves my other little olives. So now I just got to decide like how much of the stem I want to cut off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark it with a pencil. So that way I can see where I want to cut without actually having to sit and play with it underneath the border. And I love these Slimline dies. They make it so much easier for me to get everything the way I want it to be. I mean, I have a Cricut Air 2, but I rarely use it. Kiana, she is probably the master of the Cricut. And I need to watch more of her videos so I can actually put mine to use, so that way I'll actually feel like it's doing something. So now I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to cut off these bases. Peel this guy back up, because now I know where I want them to be. And that's a nice thing about doing the repositionable tape, or even the glue. The Tombow Mono Glue, I believe, is, once it dries, it's removable. So I'm just going to place these guys back down, check one more time where I want these guys to be. Yeah, I want the yellow on top. And what I'm going to do with the martini glasses, I'm actually going to pop them up with some foam tape. Okay, so let me cut these. I'm going to cut these bases off and put my foam tape on. I'll be right back. Okay, so I just went ahead and added some double-sided tape to this, and I did that off camera because those who have been watching my videos, you know me and double-sided tape, we like to struggle with each other. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this out. I've got all my glasses on my cardstock, and now this is the tricky part, because once you lay this down, there's no going back. And I can't believe that just laid down like that for the first time. But as you can see, I missed a little bit over here, which is fine. You know, the person who's getting this card is not going to care that it's off just a little bit. So now I'm going to take my little olives, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue them down. I was going to try to do the foam tape on them, but it was just, the pieces are just so small, it's just so hard to do. So I'm just going to take some of my Nuvo glue and go ahead and adhere them on there. And I tried to use like one company for this video. And I think that's what I'm going to do with some of my other videos, is just try to use one, like one company, one stamp set, one, item for each company. That way I can get through my stash and feel like I'm actually using my things. So I'm just going to pop that one there. And they are a little off, and that's, like I said, that's perfectly fine. That's no big deal. So this guy, I'm going to lean a little bit more to this side, and I probably will put some foam tape behind those guys, just because I don't want them to, get ripped off. So this will fit, this Slimline card will fit in a number 10 size envelope. So let's go ahead and do this sentiment, and I'm going to bring out my Misty for that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Quarantini sentiment and the Happy Hour, because, I mean, why not? So what I'm going to do, and I thought about heat embossing these, and I did on the first card, and I used the Brutus Monroe. I'll tell you exactly what it is. Brutus Monroe Rainbow Sparkle, and it showed up some, but it wasn't, I don't know, it just wasn't a whole lot for this card anyways. So I think what I'm going to do is just stamp it onto my card base. And it'll be a little tricky, and I should have done this sooner. I should have done it before I added all this stuff, but I am going to turn my Misty and see where I want to position this. And I think what I'm going to do is just get it right here. So it should, I mean, I don't know. it'll work out. So I'm just taking the ink on 3, the blackout ink, which has become one of my favorite inks. I mean, the whole line has just become my favorite. I'm going to carefully press down here because I don't want that. I smudged it on my Misty a little bit. So let me wipe this off. And I'm going to restamp it just because it wasn't as pigmented as I wanted the first stamp to be, but that's because I wanted to wipe off my Misty. Because you don't want to go through all this work and smudge it. That would be bad. Now see, I'm just going to leave it like that for right now, and I can fill this in with my Copic pen because my cardstock shifted. And if I would have went ahead and done that, it would have, you would have got the, I don't know, I call it the double line, which is fine. We'll go ahead and take that out. And it's still lined up perfectly. So, I mean, it's not like it's terrible. So, let's go in with our happy hour now. And I love this set. It is hilarious. It cracks me up. And who doesn't want a little Quarantini right now? Let's see. We're going to space them about like that. And me and Stamps, they don't, I just can't get them straight to save my life. So, however they go on, they go on. So again, just with that blackout ink, we're going to drop it down there. And it should come out perfect. And it did. Now, you can color in the Quarantini sentiment, but for right now, I'm just going to leave it like it is because you have all those little green dots around it. So, now to fix this little spot, I think what I'm going to do is... Okay, so I went through my little stash real quick and got the Cave Crystals Confetti Mix from Trinity. So I think what I'm going to do is just add a couple little sequins on there, and that will be it for this card. Trinity has the best embellishments. I love them, and I cannot get enough of them, and I keep ordering them, and I need to stop because who needs 10,000 sequins? Okay, so yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Cover this guy up. We'll add 2 here. And 2 down in this corner. Well, maybe 3. Let me see which one. Let me see if I can get any more smaller ones. So I just use this little wax tipped. It's for jewelry, but I use it for my embellishments. So yeah, we'll just add 3 here and then 3 at the bottom, and that will be our card. So thank you guys so much for watching and all of the support. Like I said, I'm not into YouTube for the money. I would like to get a little up to 1,000 so I could do lives, because right now I can only do them, you know, with my laptop, and I thought it'd be fun to do some lives and craft a little bit with everybody. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.